Welcome to part 8 of the Black Rose translations. In finishing the 7th video, I thought I was just going to, end it all. I was going to put it all in the last video, but I can see that's really not appropriate. So I'm making a very short video here for the 8th that is just about the altar of the Black Rose, as I was instructed and did set it up at that time. For those of you who followed my work and me, you know that I have lots of altars at lots of different stages of my life. And I know many of us do have altars, and they're very special to us. Certainly mine is no more special than anyone else's. They're all guided inwardly. But I am conscious in my creation of it in specific things that I'm guided from Thoth. So, yes, I have my own energy that I put into it, but also in most cases, probably in all cases, there's the Thothic guidance as to how I set these up. So that explained. I wish I had a picture or pictures of the Black Rose altar, and I do not. I'm sure I had them long ago. We were talking about a long time ago here in the 1980s, but all I have now that I can find are two pictures. And this one is fuzzy and blurry, and it's not of the Black Rose altar. It's of the White Rose altar. However, actually, there's hardly any change to it except there are white unicorns on it instead of black unicorns. So, but unfortunately, you really can't, you can't see it that well. It's fuzzy, but it's the best I have. So, and I will show you another one that has a slightly different view in a moment. But we're going to just look at this, pretend there's a black rose there instead of a white one, and we'll take it from here. Now, on this altar, there's no unicephalous wand, a cup, and I'm not sure why. I can't remember the sequence of things. It's possible that the unicephalous came. No, it wouldn't have, because this was written with the black rose. So I'm not at all sure why it's not there, because it wasn't broken by then. That was much later. So I simply can't explain that, but it certainly was on the Black Rose altar. Okay. So I'm reading now about the Black Rose altar. In the Black Rose translations, I was instructed to create an altar in my home through which the energy of the Black Rose, both unicorn and mystery, could be focused. I was guided in every detail of composing this altar, and it took several weeks to complete. It contained stones, crystals, objects from many sacred places, mostly brought back to me upon instruction from Thoth by the Panic Scow's Dolores Kemp. There are stones from the Mayan city of Tulum, a historically known crystal cave of Merlin's in England, a thorny twig in chalice well water from Glastonbury, a stone and a piece of moss from Merlin's Bannock Hill Grove in Scotland, sent to me by David Thorpe, a beautiful large crystal stone given to me by Lawrence Chisholm, which he found at the Great Pyramid between the Great Pyramid and the Sphinx. I do have that still. I have quite a few of these things. Some I don't, though. A stone from the ancient site of the Callanish Stone Circle in Scotland, water from the Dead Sea, the precious tablet fragments from Mount Sinai, which of course I still have, and a crystal and water from the Merlin Grove on the Isle of Man. I also have a clear quartz pyramid that Dolores charged for me inside the Great Pyramid, a black picture agate that once adorned a bracelet worn by Elvis Presley, who figures prominently into all of this through his Blue Star connection, an opalized clam from Australia, and a stone from a kiva of the ancient ones atop the Mesa Verde Plateau in Colorado. Many rare lithium crystals, are upon the altar as well. There are more pieces not named here, all of which contain a special charge and vibration. The altar is composed of 3 parts. On the far right, there's the crystal cave. Well, I think you can actually, if you see Merlin back here, in the very far right, It's all blurry, but he's really in his little crystal cave there, where most of the relics and stones mentioned above are clustered, forming a cavern floor above a small, intricate statue of Merlin. Yep, that would be it, right in there. He is dressed in a white robe. Well, here he's dressed in a blue robe and cloak with mysterious symbols on the hem. Upon his raised left hand sits a young dragon, no larger than a small rabbit. On Merlin's finger gleams an amethyst stone. Behind him, with flashing orange eyes, stands the green brilliance of the dragon Esmeralda, guardian of the Black Rose. Well, you can't see Esmeralda really, but she is actually there. This statue, also in great detail, bears an uncanny resemblance to the real Esmeralda, which I saw in the vision translations before I was led to the statue version. The statue has an amethyst on its forehead, linking it to the mother essence of amethystine. These images, the Merlin and dragon, were fashioned by the same artist, M. Pena, a woman. Behind Esmeralda on the altar is a baby unicorn. Well, now, Esmeralda's back here, but I've since moved the baby unicorn up here. Pearly white in color. Black unicorns are born a pearly gray, but this was the closest I could come in lightness. So it's not gray, it's white. But I moved it over here now because when we switched it to the white unicorn, I put amethystine, the white mother unicorn, with the baby, and then, of course, the white rose fellow here raised up by the candle. So that's the difference. But before, the little one was over and behind Esmeralda. Lavender from Scotland scents this grove, so we're back over to the grove again, as lavender is a favorite essence of unicorns, also with amber resin and ginger root. In the back of the crystal cave is the treasure chest, containing the 4 tablet fragments from Mount Sinai and the granite flake of a stone to be used in the Temple of Senna. I'm not sure what that's about. Atop the chest is a necklace from Tibet and a small white hand-carved owl from China, representative of the white owl with which Merlin integrated, a form of shape-shifting in which a real animal is used as a surrogate for the projection of human consciousness within limited time periods. The actual owl Merlin called Go Forth. Well, that's interesting. I thought that was the name of Thoth's falcon. I could have sworn that was the name of Thoth's falcon. Maybe they're both named that. I don't know. Anyway, it's all back there somewhere, and you can't see it in this picture. Or maybe I took the tablets off of the altar by the time I did this. On the far left of the altar, and now it's definitely not on this table here, is placed Robert Vavra's book, Unicorns I Have Known. There's a candle in a white swan container. Merlin tells me that unicorns often project themselves in essence through swans and peacock feathers, for Vavra has photographed peacocks gathered about unicorns. They form a guardian element for them in the forests. Also is a ceramic statue of a grown black unicorn, rearing, and a ceramic black rose. Of course, these are not on this altar here. The unicorn I had to have painted and fired in black. The rose was yellow, and I painted it black myself. I had been led to a particular store for this rose, but when I found it, I was disappointed that it was not the right color. As I stood there wondering if this was the rose intended for the altar, a game show was blaring on the TV in the store, and at the moment, an eager contestant called out, "Unicorn!" I bought the rose. Okay, near the black rose is a unicorn tapestry box in which is kept an oracle deck of cards, the wisdom of King Solomon. I would really like to find those again. These cards contain ancient seals of the Solomon mysteries and are talismanic in nature. In the center of the altar, between the black rose and Merlin's crystal cave, displayed on a golden scarf are 3 of Susan Plum's wands. Well, obviously, they're not here now. The Ankh Horus and the Sea Star wands mentioned in issue 488 and the most recent heart cup, the Unicephalus. I showed you that a picture of that in the previous video. Perhaps I should put it up again here. So here it is, and here we have the more original altar. We've got the cup, wand, and actually, let me see, the one on the left is one of Susan's. I'm not sure if there's a wand on the right and it's just not in this picture. I cannot tell, but at least you have those two there. Also present is a small white unicorn standing in a stream, ceramic, bowing toward the Unicephalus with his horn dipped in the water. Don't have that in this. This image represents the father essence, chariot, and also Asalam. By Asalam, the penetrating, the mighty, the firstborn, we were life-giving waters brought forth from the Unicornus book. Behind the wands is an amethyst-colored wax unicorn head. That is in this picture. Just one moment. I am still looking for it. I simply lost my place. Representing the mother essence of amethystine, that amethyst-colored unicorn head. There is a beautifully crafted pendant containing an amethyst point made in Bali, representing the Parsival stone, which I was instructed to place under the nostrils of the amethyst unicorn. It's probably there, but you just can't see it. In front of the Unicephalus wand is a rose quartz pomegranate representing the tetragrammaton, or word sounded by the unicorn lobjai in the beginning time. Actually, that is probably there, but I'm just not sure. I am told by my sources that this altar is now infused with the magic of divine purpose. It is an anchor for the Black Rose mystery, this connective to many mysteries of light. This is not my altar, but the altar for sending and receiving and sharing this divine focus. I can't help but be struck by how this whole thing has been continuing throughout my life. With, we now have the altar of the dwellers, the dweller crystal skulls, and all of that was set up specifically. And then, of course, the newest, which really relates to this, especially the white rose unicorn, which we're going to get to in the next series, is the Christosophara elixir altar. And there have been many altars in between, and they've all had purposes, and specifically under the guidance of Thoth, leading us to the point now where these altars stand in my house. In other words, they aren't disconnected. They are, oh, well, this altar, I had that, and I finished that, and I went on to this. They're all connected. They all move. They're evolutionary. They move from one step to another to another. And I might do a short video at some point on that, not going into great detail, but just showing the altars and how they relate. Okay. I have this one more altar picture here. Now the other altar was in San Antonio. This is in Austin, a little later on. It's still, of course, white rose. And you can see there's been some changes, but there's still the basics are still there. Yeah, that's me. I guess I was about 44, and that's really my real hair color. It paled considerably through the years. And that's my precious Delphi. And he went with me to Crestone, along with my wolf and my other beings. Okay, so let's see now. So here I am, pale-headed again. I went from the black rose unicorn to the white rose unicorn. And I'm going to conclude this video 8, making it short because we have 2 more short ones. I believe about 2 more to go.